Before we continue with the video, if you like what I'm doing here on this channel, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel a lot. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Welcome. In today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are actually going to be reviewing an asset today. And today we are reviewing the Insta Deform plugin that was released in this month's free asset grouping by Epic. Now, I will probably be going through a few of the different assets that were released free this month, and I feel like it might be a good opportunity to do so while they are free, so people can get a feel for what they are like. Most people probably just pick up all the different assets since they are free anyway, but I feel like it is a good opportunity to check these items out when they are free, so that if you are in the future looking to see if this is something of interest, you can then gauge based on my thoughts if it is something that you are wanting to pay for or not. So in my previous video where I showed off the free assets, I didn't display this too much because it seemed like the assets didn't work. That was an error on my part, which is why I'm giving it more of a fair shake, hopefully this time around. So this is the asset. We have some example pictures of it and things like that, and we have some description about what it does. It describes itself as ultra-fast setup, cost-efficient, fully replicated, skeletal mesh support, and some experimental static mesh support. So these are the things that it has, and we will be going through these a little bit in a moment. First off, I want to go through the ultra-fast support, and this one seems to be accurate. It has a documentation available. You can find it here under documentation. And here it goes through the setup that you need to do. First off, you have to have the plugin installed from the Epic Launcher if you have the asset. You have to add a component to your vehicle. In this case, I have the sports car of the default vehicle template that is shipped with Unreal Engine 5. So we have the Insta Deform component there. So that's the first part. After that, you have to go into the mesh of the vehicle and you have to set simulate generate hit events. Then you go to the physics asset and then you go through all the different bodies and make sure that they have simulation generating events as well. Once that is done, you are essentially good to go. And this is the point where we are at currently. So with this is the default setup, and if we just now drive the car into a piece of geometry, we can now go out and observe the damage. And here you can see I hit the car on this side here, and it looks pretty identical to the other one, and that is why I thought it didn't work and I didn't have enough time to go through this more in depth. But if you actually go into the actual settings of the Insta Deform, you can see we have a few settings available here. We have a max deform, a deform scale, and bone ignore filter, where we can add an array of different bones that we don't want to be affected by the deformation. In this case, it defaults wheels. And then you can also protect the underbody here. So these are all the settings that are available to us. Now, before I go too far into this, I want to talk a little bit about how this review will work. So what I will be doing is I will be going through everything in an as objective manner as I can. And then once I have demonstrated everything, I will in the end give a sort of short summary review and note out all the positive and the negatives that I've found with the vehicle, or the assets that is in question. So if we go into the pawn here now then, and we change the max deform here to something a little bit more massive in comparison, so we increase the deform and the scale, and now we drive the car into some geometry, we should be able to get a little bit more of a clear view of that something has happened. So let's eject here and look at the vehicle, and we can now see that it's just crumbled together a little bit. And yeah, so that's essentially what it does. It takes the car or the skeletal mesh that you want to make use of, and it tracks the different collisions that you have. See, if we're running along the wall here, you can see that we get a lot of collisions detected, and it will deform the side. And that's essentially what it does. It takes the mesh geometry and deforms it in accordance to where it feels that hits have been, and then restructures it so it gives this sort of deformed or broken, dented look. Now in this case, the values are much higher than what it is by default, of course, but in the default values, you saw that by our first test, we didn't really get much of a result at all. As a comparison, we can actually go back and set these to the default values, run into the wall again, and do something pretty similar to what I just did now, and see what the differences are collision and result wise, if I can just manage to not hit the wall at such a steep angle. So now I'm going along the wall as well, just like I did before, and let's eject and see what it looks like. So you can see here that there has been a tiny bit of denting in here on the side here on the door, and there's some deformation here on the corner, but not much. So that's all what we get with the basics. So the setup is accurately quick, I feel, and you have some advanced functionality here as well when it comes to the deforming of the mesh. You can set up when you want to deform mesh on command and Q, and also have some additional information here in regards to the static mesh support and also the different settings here. So the documentation isn't very extensive, but it covers what the object or the asset has to provide. Next up, we have the next point here, which is cost efficient. So this one is difficult to measure. There is a stress test here, which shows off some bunch of cars that are deforming based on collisions. You can find the link here and watch that if you want to, of course. So this one might be accurate as well. I will not be delving that deep, and I will just take it at base value. Fully replicated, it says. I do not know about this either. I have not tried this yet, other than like cursory. So I can't verify this. This would take some extensive testing to see how accurate this is, but let's assume that this is correct. Skeletal mesh support, this is what we have seen, and this works of course on all kinds of skeletal meshes, so it doesn't need to be a vehicle, it could be a character, prop, or anything else as well. Since this part, the static mesh, is experimental, I will be excluding that from this part. In addition to that, you also have a roadmap available on a Trello board. You can see here that the initial release is what is currently has been released, and there is a bunch of different tasks in the to-do list. And you can see here from this that there seems to be some idea of things that could be improved in future releases. I want to make note of, though, that this was released in March 28th, and currently we are in the beginning of July, so it has been a quarter of a year since the release at least. So nothing has moved up to the next phases of the Trello board so far. Since this asset is fairly small in scope, I feel we can already make a judgment based on what is good and bad and my motivations for that. And I will be trying to be as objective as possible. I have no gain from this asset in either way or direction, so this will just be my perceived assessment of this asset. So the positive things about this is the obvious things. It is ultra fast to set up. This is clearly very true. It doesn't require many steps at all, and it seems to be working fairly fast. Cost efficient, like I said, I cannot verify either to or for or against, as well as fully replicated, which I cannot either. Skeletal mesh support seems to be accurate based on my tests so far, so that's fine as well, and this one we will be excluding. So for the most part, this seems to be accurate. Now we get to some of the negative points when it comes to this. The first part is that if we look at the Trello board, none of these points have moved, like we mentioned earlier. So it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of attention being put to this to create these tasks into additional releases so far. I could, of course, be wrong. But if you also look through more of the details on the asset itself, it says that there are collision shape deformations that you may see in some of the videos that are under development for Unreal Engine 5 and are planned to be sold separately as an add-on to this plugin. If I'm to interpret this correctly, it sounds like it's something that won't be included in this, but will rather be something separate that you have to purchase for another bundle or as a completionist for this asset. Not a big fan of that. In addition to that, we can see that collision deformations and other items in the roadmap, while actively being under development, are planned, not promised. Meaning that you should probably go in with the mindset that none of these may actually come to fruition in the future, and what you have currently is what you're going to be getting. Keep in mind that, like any other product on the marketplace, you are purchasing this plugin as is. Now, you have to give him credit that he's being honest and actually emphasizing that there might not be more features coming in the future. However, this is not very encouraging based on the asset itself as it is now, since it is not very big. If we look at the asset, we have 4 different things that we can affect here. This is not a lot of granularity. I would actually claim that this is probably on the smallest side, I think, that should even be allowed to be put on the marketplace. As to the results of what it can accomplish, we can look at the screenshots themselves, which is from the demo, which should be putting this asset in a positive light. Looking at this, we can fairly objectively say that these are not really realistic or good-looking results when it comes to something like this. As a vehicle, if you saw something that looked like this, you wouldn't think that it has been deformed by damage, you would just think that you're on some kind of acid trip or something like that. The results from the asset itself is, in my opinion, very subpar. And in addition to that, all the promises that are only planned and not actual promises doesn't give a lot of confidence in addition to this. So, very basic functionality, results are pretty poor, you can't really trust that more things will be improved over time, and then to make everything worse, if you just go to the marketplace and you compare this asset against all the other assets that were released for free this month, you can see that this is by far the most expensive one. Now I have the Swedish currency here, but we can see that the closest trailing asset would be Fluid Ninja, which I consider to probably be a pretty high quality asset. And this one charges twice that price. If I were to put a price on this that was more in line with how I feel the quality of this asset is, I would put it far below even the lowest priced one among these 5. So as an asset, this one is very disappointing, and I would not recommend anyone to get this other than probably this edge case. If you're working on a game where you have maybe vehicles or characters or props that have a very stylized look, then this kind of deformation might actually look fairly okay. But for all other cases, I honestly feel this is almost a ripoff, and I hope that only people get this while it's free and not while you actually have to pay for it. And that is my brutal and honest opinion about this asset. I hope it is of value for you, and let me know if you would like to see more like this in the future or not. Also, give me a like if you liked it, a dislike if you disliked it, and tell me what I got right or wrong in this. That's all for now. Take care.